We will call the Finance Committee meeting to order. It is 4:32. It's Wednesday, April 1st, 2026. And I am Fourth Ward Councilman Mike Ray and Committee Vice Chair. And there's a lot of new folks in here. We'll do the roll call. Everyone states their name and their purpose or who they represent for being here. So to my right,
Louis Oliver, First Ward City Council and member.
Cynthia McWilson, I'm sorry, Cynthia McWilson, Sixth Ward City Council.
Amber White, Seventh Ward City Councilwoman.
Harry Johnson, Water Department.
Aaron Bishop, Health Department.
Mike Drummond, Building and Grounds.
Jonathan Huff, Mayor's Office.
Aaron Cole, Police Department.
Earl Shasta, Public Works.
Courtney Kelly, Fire Department.
Mike Durkin, Code Enforcement.
Adam Penty, Law Department.
I am Isaac Finance.
Mike Kelly, Fifth Ward Council.
Rick Logan, indicator YSU.
Joe Well, I'm journalist now.
Lindsay Harrington, Law Department.
Owen Mills, journalism student at YSU.
Angela Giacomo, journalism student at YSU.
Sydney Penick, YSU News Reporting.
Adam Fishman, YSU student.
Dawson Delsigno, YSU Journalism Student. Emily Smith, YSU Journalism Student. Scott Nicholson, YSU Journalism Student.
Nick Dillon, YSU journalism student.
Sean Farfolo, Police Department.
Shalise Bolash, Youngstown Municipal. Angela Frederick, Youngstown Municipal. Melinda Vat, Court Administrator for the court.
Bill Steiner, Wastewater.
Mary Krupa, Seventh Ward.
John Lightly, Fire.
John R. Squires, former Seventh Ward Councilman.
Allison Downs, Code Enforcement.
Clement Franklin, Executive Director at Youngstown Park and Recreation.
Yeah, Arthur's, student at YSU.
Arthur's.
Chad Hawks, Law Department.
Nicole Talton, Second Ward resident.
Valencia Merrill, City Clerk.
Erica Avery, CPAC.
all right, thank you. That takes care of item number one, the chairperson's roll call. Just a reminder that we are recording this and the microphones are in the ceiling and the cameras follow you. So please limit sidebar discussion and chatter because the cameras will follow. Speak loudly and clearly. If you're not at the table and you are asked to address, please stand up or if there's a space available, come to the table for the discussion. And also remember to silence your cell phones or any other device you may have that makes various noises. Jimmy's not here yet. He'll be mad at me when he watches this. Let's move to item number two, pending legislation under our ordinances, starting with ordinance number 3, which is the master salary ordinance. Kyle, any highlights on that?
Through the chair, through March 15th. Prior to any contracts that we are working on, these are the current salaries based on prior contract increases, along with ordinances passed by council that are now all reflected in the exhibit. And we're asking council to approve it. And going forward, any changes that we would make would be reflected to this ordinance based on the council approval, the master salary.
Oliver, does anyone else have any questions, concerns? Thank you, Kyle. Oh, go ahead, Councilman Oliver.
Kyle, future. We can change somebody's salary on the master salary at what point? Like, do we do that just during the budget, or if the administration wants to give somebody in particular a raise at any given time, or if we're looking for some new help, like a position that needs to be hired at any point, do you just bring legislation to city council to change the master salary?
Kyle?
Through the chair, there's two mechanisms to change the master salary. One is going to be through contractual obligations where we negotiate with the union. And then based on how council approves that that legislation for the CBA, that would set the new salary. In addition, we typically bring all management or non-union employees to the body, say as the mayor sponsoring, and it's an individual ordinance that then would change the position or change the number of headcount could be in that position. So it's not just for salary, it's also for number of headcount. And we normally would do that through legislation.
Thank you.
Right. Any other questions? Hearing none, we could move to item number 4. Is fire department fleet. Any questions on that? All right. Hearing none, we can move to item number 5, the chiller for the Cavelli Center. I'm gonna assume that would be Kyle.
Through the chair, the chiller actual oil pump was the original. It went down. And as a result, we are blessed that we had no events because this actual component of the chiller runs the air conditioning. It has been replaced as an emergency. Coming to council asking to appropriate, or actually to give me the authority to make that payment to the vendor, Johnson Controls, who fixed it.
Okay. Councilman Oliver?
Yeah, so we fixed it or we got a new one?
Through the chair, they had to actually fix it. So what was happening was it had to be dismantled. The oil pump had to, well, prior to being dismantled, they had to drain all the freon from the system, store it, then dismantle, replace the oil pump, then put it back together, and then put the freon back into the system so that it could be operational.
Go ahead, Councilman Oliver.
So does that give us like another 10, 15 years on that pump or? Is it-
Through the chair, yes, it's on the pump. The actual chiller is not, I mean, it is a large system. It actually is part of making the ice and also for all your air movement across the facility of the footprint.
Yeah. Samantha?
Thank you. Were we thinking of replacing it when this happened, when this broke down, or was it always just a repair?
Through the
Or is
chair.
it
Go
something
ahead.
else?
Through the chair. The chiller has been addressed in a number of different ways through the different components. Last year, council gave the authority for the actual, I'm not sure what it's called, but the core that has over 500 tubes. It's the length of this table. They went and dismantled it and then cleaned out all of those tubes. It is the original, but in essence, it's easier to fix it than to replace something of that size. These are just components of that chiller that we've had to address, and this one being, I guess, the pump system on the chiller. I unfortunately don't have enough background in explaining it, but I do know that it went down and this is what it cost. And because it was required to operate for upcoming events, it was done on an emergency basis.
Samantha, did you have a follow-up?
I do. Can you tell us how much we've invested in the repairs alone in the chiller? You don't have to do it right now.
Great, because I.
Thank you. But if you could, so we know where we're at with it, because I do feel like we've been talking about something's going down almost each year with it. So I do wanna, and then see where we're at.
And through the chair, I'd like to, if you'd like to see it too, I think it would give you a better appreciation versus one, I would break down what the cost have been for the last few years. And then we could actually set up a time for you to go over there and see how large and what.
Thanks.
Yes.
Thank you so
exactly.
much.
Okay, so number 5, we'll schedule a field trip. Follow up on that. Moving to item number 6, got some trucks for the park department. I'm sure we discussed these during the budget hearing requests. Are there any questions on the F-150, the F-250? Samantha?
Thank you. I just want to say thank you for purchasing everybody new trucks for them, because they do always tend to get the hand-me-downs. So this is a good step in the right direction for our Parks Department. So that's it.
Okay. Moving to item number 7, that is the courts. If anyone has any questions for these, maybe we have a court administrator here if they just want to mention the digital kiosks.
Yeah.
Yeah, the digital kiosk is signage, so we're trying to increase efficiency in the courts. So there'll be TVs outside of each of the courtroom. There'll be a self-serving kiosk for people to come in, check in. The bailiff will be notified that they are here for court, and we're working on the prosecutor being notified when the victims are there as well, just to improve the experience, get people in and out faster in the court.
Okay.
And the money I do want to point out is going to be found in our probation fees, which is number 20 on the check that.
So this is court funds
Court
already.
funds.
And that, you said 20 was the companion piece to that?
Yes,
Okay.
appropriating the funds for that as well as tasers and
Okay. Councilwoman Turner,
Thank you. Does this also include the software or just the hardware? Or is it both?
through
Go
the
ahead.
chair. I believe it's just the software. No, the hardware, as far as the hardware, do you mean like the TVs and that?
Yeah,
Because they send that, but we have to pay separately for the installation.
Okay, so if the software cost is not included in this, do you know what that software cost looks like?
Through the chair, I may have misspoke. I'm gonna ask Angela Frederick if that's okay. The software cost is included?
The initial setup. Sorry. So initial. Into this.
Okay, so it's the initial setup is $13,000. The overall cost is 27, which will be all of it. We will have to pay yearly for maintenance. I would assume, that's all though. 27,005 is out the door, so to speak. Yeah,
And the initial installation, but there will be a separate cost for annual maintenance.
correct.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
moving to item number 8. Kyle, I don't know if you want to mention a few words on the engagement letter here for the audit.
To the chair, back in 2023, the state chose to award the city of Youngstown a 5-year agreement where we need to go out and actually use a third party to provide services. The engagement letter for 2023 and 2024 was all encompassing for 5 years. It was initially for $128,800. The 25 and 26 is now being increased to 135.8. I'm asking council to give us the authority to enter into that. And in 2027, it will increase another 7,000, but it was for a 5-year contract, which will take it to 142.8. I don't have that in front of you just because I'm asking you for 25 and 26 because of the amount of at 135.
Okay. All right, seeing no questions, we can move to item number 9. There are no questions on item number 9. We could move to item number 10, which is the professional services agreement with Guy Burney not to exceed $90,000.
I'm good.
Okay. All right, moving to item number 11. The contract with John Brawlage to do the services he provides for environmental sanitation and economic development, respectively.
Through the chair.
Samantha?
Thank you. This doesn't normally come through YSU.
He is separated. He no longer is an independent contractor. He's no longer employed by YSU.
Okay, all right, thank you. That helps.
Item number,
Just
go ahead,
for
Councilman.
clarity on that, he is able to provide us with the same level of service.
Right.
On that own. So,
Item 12 is the Pemberton fencing. No, Amber had her hand up first. Go ahead, Councilwoman
Through the
White.
chair. I just want to say I am very supportive of this. I thank Park Director for bringing it forward, especially seeing the improvements that was done here and the activities that will be seen within this vicinity now and ensuring that the dollars that we have put in is going to be secured and protected. So thank you for bringing this forward.
Thank you.
Councilman Turner?
Thank you. I don't have my full legislation. Is this American Rescue Plan or out of our annual park budget?
Leave it.
To the chair,
Kyle.
is out of, the request is coming from the park budget. Council approved, or the committee approved. When we met and addressed what the park department was looking for out of, its capital improvements.
Go ahead, Samantha.
So there was nothing left in the ARP?
To the chair,
It
this
looks
was
like
not,
they struck out there.
this was not included.
Kyle, if you would like to steal second.
To the chair, when the initial project scope was put together for that particular park, that was not included.
Samantha?
Thank you. Chuck, is there no way to scope this into that project? Or I'm just asking because there's quite a bit of dollars for the park, so I am shocked that this is coming up on the capital budget. And
Chuck, go ahead.
Through the chair, we have expended all of the ARP money that we were obligated to within the park. The goal was obviously to go slightly over on all the separate contracts that we bid to ensure that we expended the reported amount from 2024.
I guess just so for some clarification, is this a traditional chain link green fence that we see all over our parks? Is this an ornamental? Is this gonna, our park director, Clement?
Yes, to the chair. Part of it is ornamental, which is gonna state Pemberton baseball field. But the majority is chain fence, black. It's a beautiful fence because Youngstown deserves it.
Amen.
I'm not sure who is, oh, go ahead, Councilman Oliver.
I was just gonna ask Councilwoman White, did she partake and have discussion and as part of this planning process for this?
Councilwoman White?
Yeah, through the chair. Yeah, we had many conversations about Pemberton Park even last year and trying to somehow get this fence put in with the scope of the ARP. How, whatever reason that it wasn't done through ARP, but now that we've seen what it looks like and the use of it, and, Clem can kind of speak on the different teams that are now going to be playing here and coming here and using it. So I expressed myself, obviously, last year on, we need to ensure that the fence is done because what we have there now is very flimsy. Individuals can slide right up under it and have access to it. So we want to make sure that we are securing the funds that we have put into that park right now. So, but yes, I was kind of part of the conversation and making sure that we do get this done in the aspect of the source. No, but I am glad that it is getting done because we do have a lot of dollars that we're investing into it. And it will be used by, Mr. Franklin can attest to which teams will be playing there.
Yes, to the chair.
Go ahead.
Right now, we have 103 games signed up so far with Penn State, Shenango, with college, YSU, all of us, Youngstown City Schools and surrounding areas such as Mooney, Ursuline, and others.
Councilman Oliver?
Yeah, I just want to say I do support it. I think the park is beautiful. I think the park director is doing a great job of both turning around the golf course as well as being able to make this a beautiful space in the 7th Ward with the rest of the city, as well as getting teams to be able to come and contract to play there. So, I mean, I think you just gotta take it the rest of the way. So.
All right, looks like there's no more conversation on that. We can move to item 13, the Market Street, 5th Avenue bus pull-off improvement project. Chuck, this is one that we've talked about that was outside of the original scope of Smarts 2. Go ahead.
Through the chair, the project itself is 3 bus stops that are to be installed on 5th Avenue. which was originally part of the Fifth Avenue Improvement Project back in 2019.
Okay,
At that time, during the course of that project, the work was outside the city right away. So we were unable to use the federal dollars to leave the right away. It's not permitted. So what we did was we non-performed the work out of that original contract. We have, over the course of a couple of years, obtained the easements through the state because they're all with YSU. We're now ready to reinstall those or install those bus stops on Fifth Avenue, as well as the larger one, which is a pull off for the OWOW facility on Federal Street, which was originally in the build project, even though it was local money, it was still in the build grant, Smart 2 project. We couldn't come to an agreement on the design of it. There was some transitioning going on with OWOW management. We finally got this through. So although it's still local money, but it's just not, it's being administered locally as opposed to through the build project.
so this general fund funds?
Through the chair, this was discussed at the $5 auto license fee budget hearing.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
So this is in the budget, yes.
Are they pull offs on Fifth as well, or are they just stops?
Through the chair, yes. There are some installed on Fifth now, if you see them. Those were ones that were in the public right away, so we're able to perform them with the project. But once they left the right of way into private property, although even though it's state property, it's still considered out of right of way. So with the federal dollars, you can't use that money. You can't do any work outside the public right of way.
Right.
With the federal dollars.
Okay.
The chair, to clarify, you can't do any work outside the right of way, even if it's local dollars on a federally funded
There's
project.
restrictions
Yes.
with the federal dollars. Okay. Councilman Oliver.
I just wanted to co-sponsor this, please.
Councilman Oliver would like to add his name to item number 13 as a sponsor. Are these popular? If they're popular, I might consider, but if they're like the median stuff, I wouldn't want anything to do with it. Councilman White, do you?
Yeah, through the chair. In regards to, I'm trying to visually visualize this. Is there gonna be an issue with people parking in these bus pull-offs? Is to where the buses can't come there? Is that like a type of?
Would these be similar to what we see on Lincoln? Because Lincoln has them behind the parking. There's several spots on Lincoln and I never see them jammed up or anything.
Through the chair, we haven't seen any issues with parking on the ones that we put in on Fifth Avenue. So I don't see any reason to believe that there would be any issues with people parking in them on the new ones that we put on Fifth Avenue. In regards to the bus pull off, I mean, we'll sign it accordingly. Parking enforcement downtown has to improve in general. It has to improve in general. I mean, there's people parking on the plaza that should be parking there, let alone in a bus stop parking lot. So that just, I think that's an enforcement issue we have to deal with.
Thank you.
All right. Moving to item 14, which is off the agenda. We can move to item number 15 regarding second floor city hall renovations. Amending the budget to an increase. Chuck, is it you or is it Mike Drummond on just why we're seeing an increase?
Through the chair, I'll take it because it's a capital project, but the increases generally were, as we all know, we tried to bring this project in on a pretty tight budget. I don't know if anyone's seen it, but I still believe that the city did very well with what between the design and what we ended up with down there. We did have some unforeseen circumstances behind the walls in regards to plumbing. We're still fighting plumbing issues on other floors in the building. But generally speaking, most of this was included for additional plumbing work, as well as some changes that were made with some of the layout with the change in administration.
Councilwoman Turner, did you have anything in addition to that?
No, I don't.
Okay. Anyone else? Councilman Oliver?
Was Did we ever finish the discussion on whether Serve was gonna move down to the second floor? Is that been? City council was supposed to occupy this entire space? Just ignore that.
Through the chair, I don't know that that's relevant to this legislation, but I think I would just say that right now there are no floor plans or any space allotted for Serve to go down there. We can revisit that, whether that's there or as the new space becomes available, where on the parole prosecutor's office, where economic development CPED is located now. There's multiple options, but the floor plan, no point indicated Serve as being a tenant down there. Tenant.
Right, moving to item number 16, which is an increase for various park improvements. Councilman Turner.
Thank you, through the chair. So I understand this 4.1 is ARP
To the chair, that is correct.
and the additional is gonna come out of their overall budget because it was not.
To the chair, so we come out of the overall park department budget. It's been added as a capital improvement similar to the fence.
Is there a follow-up?
Go ahead.
Thank you. Is there a way you can provide us with a breakdown of what all has been done in the parks with the pricing? Utilizing the ARP dollars only.
To the chair, yes, we actually have, as legislation was passed where certain parks were designated under one contractor. We don't have each park broken out separately. We have the way that the contract was bid. So on some of them, there is one contractor for one park.
That's fine.
And other ones, and other expenses, there's multiple parks that we have listed in that particular project. But yes, I can provide that because it has all been appropriated and nearly all expended. And that is not very difficult to provide to Valencia that she can then share with all the council members.
Thank you so much. I'd just like to see how we spent that bulk of dollars. Thank you.
Let's move to item 17. It was more, I believe, park related, summer camp supervisors. Questions on this? Is this a handout we received on that? Yes. Okay. Do we know which locations these will be, or?
Through the chair.
Yes.
For this year, it'll be Wood Park. The goal is to get back to, our natural 12 to 15 parks. But we're pushing forward.
Councilman White.
Through the chair. Who exactly did this job previously, or how were our park the camps supervised in the past, where we need this now?
Through the chair, Miss Peace, Miss Dorothy Peace, she was the one that retired last year. So she was the one that was supervising all the playgrounds. And then, of course, she has camp supervisors up under her as well that helped out with each site. But in the past couple of years, it's been me and Miss Peace.
That's Councilman Turner.
Thank you. This is probably just a piece for you to observe. She has 3 bosses: recreation manager, program director, and the executive director.
So she'll report to me, but also our recreational program supervisor. Because she's a supervisor, and let's see, your program coordinator. So really it's 2 of them.
Okay.
Yeah, really it's 2.
follow up?
Sure.
I just say that because I work closely with this position for various reasons, and that's just a lot of bosses for what goes on during the summer camp. So
Yeah.
I would just read.
So that's the error.
review.
Yeah, that's the error right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, before I just wanted you guys to basically get the description. That's the only error that's probably on there, most likely.
Thank you for the clarification. That was item number 17. Move to item 18, Civil Service Commission. Who, Jonathan, is that
I can
you?
take it through the chair. This piece of legislation was discussed during civil service budget hearing. And this was to add a step to the assistant secretary office assistant position within civil service.
Okay. Seeing no questions on item 18, moving to item 19 about a police personnel clerk with a pay step. Chief here.
I'm here.
Anyone have any questions on that for the chief? Okay, hearing none. We talked about item 20 back with item 7. That was just the appropriation for item 7. Moving to item 21. This is the standard special assessment removals for various reasons. And then that comes to the late item, the AFSCME local 2312 contract. If there's any questions, or Adam, are there any highlights to mention regarding this?
Yeah, through the chair, just speaking broadly, we engage in pattern bargaining with all our unions, and the AFSCME contract was just pretty far behind the patterns. And so we wanted to do an amendment to their union contract to bring them in line with the current pattern, so that when we renegotiated with them, the next time that contract was up, we didn't have to do a huge spike of a raise. And this is just a much smoother way to go about our bargaining with all our collective bargaining units.
Okay. Thank you. Any questions there? All right. Hearing none, I would make a motion that we send items 3 through 13, 15 through 21, and late 1 to the council floor for consideration and passage. Moved and seconded to send items 3 through 13, 15 through 21, and late 1 to the council floor for consideration and passage. Item 14 is off the agenda. That brings us to item number 3 of the agenda, which is miscellaneous. Councilman Oliver, did you have something?
Yeah, something. Through the chair, mayor, or Mr. Kitchen. Just wanted to update on the home funds, what's going on with the dollars that were meant to for new home construction in Youngstown, where we are with that. Been hearing a lot of different things in the community, but nothing specifically from the administration.
Through the chair, Mayor, I know we were going to have a public announcement of some of those changes. We need to go back and make sure we forth the proper legislation, amended those from previous dollar amounts that were given. I'll let Demain Kitchen speak a little more specifically about that, but that's why you probably hear a little bit of the delay and the confusion, that we just wanted to make sure we measured twice and cut once before we put it back out there. And so you can speak specifically to some of those dollar changes if we want.
The main program for the press conference.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's pretty much it. There are some things we got to go back through law and get some language together, but we'll be notifying council and the public probably in the next 2 weeks. We're going to re-roll that out with the changes. And then pretty much is, allowing more people to participate in the program. That's what the changes are designed to do. We're confident that we'll still spend all of the money from the landlord fund, from the facade fund, and the, at-home program prior to December 31st. So that's the goal.
So,
Councilman Oliver?
So the things I'm hearing are like what you said, including different people. So previously, we were dealing with 717, we're dealing with YNDC. So now we're opening up for other contractors, and 717 still involved, is YNDC.
No, that's a different program through the chair.
No, I'm talking about the construction, like the home building. funds.
Oh, I misunderstood.
Yeah, those are two different programs. So the at-home, I mean, what we're talking about is the down payment assistance and those type of things.
Yeah,
What you're talking about is the $8 million allocation from new construction. So as it stands right now, that entire allocation is still with YNDC. And so we've met with them. We've been updated on their progress or the plans for the remaining portion. I think 4 million has been allocated. There's remaining 4 million yet to be dispersed. But that allocation has fully been designated to YNDC.
Okay. Thank you.
Go ahead, Councilman Oliver.
So the other one is, again, bits and pieces, but not the whole thing yet. I know we are very high in infant mortality here. We had plans on bringing infant mortality company to bottom dollar. I know we spent a substantial amount of money renovating that space. Just wondering what's going on with the company or that was supposed to come for the infant mortality clinic.
So through the chair,
Go ahead, Domain.
you're referring to the Village of Healing.
Yes.
So we can talk about this more in depth in CPAD once you schedule that. But what I will say is nothing was ever contractually on paper. So everything was essentially a conversation. But there was no lease agreements. There were no rental rates or anything was ever discussed. And so at this point, there's conversation for them to look at some other space as well. But to my knowledge, there's no documentation that whenever a lease was supposed to commence. Another thing throughout the course of these past few months, we've discovered some issues with the building. That 2/3 of the building was not renovated. There's some roof issues. So there's a lot for us to discuss when we schedule the CPAD meeting.
Thank you.
Yeah, through the chair. So this is for Kyle. So I was at Kirk Park with my grandkids. And thank you. But some constituents come up and the road is horrible right there. So they asked me, and I don't have an answer for it. The money that we get for the speed for the schools, are we able to use that for roads and sidewalks to make this safer for these kids?
Through the chair.
I couldn't give them the answer, so.
I would defer to the law department, but we do have the ability to spend funds in school zone areas. If that area could qualify, if close enough, it possibly could be used towards that. That would be a choice of the administration, but that first it would need to be determined, would it qualify? Is it close enough to meet the criteria of a school zone?
Chuck, did you have any reminders about resurfacing? Everyone got their lists on time. I'd like to note that mine was in before 11:59 PM on Sunday.
Chair.
Go ahead, Chuck.
Chair, generally speaking, we're good, or we have an understanding.
Okay. All right. Councilman Oliver, do you want to go?
I was just gonna ask Adam if he could review the law to see if that park, which is included in the area around the school, would qualify for some of those dollars.
Sure. And through the chair, I mean, Kyle's explanation was pretty accurate. The other thing I would add is that there's very limited precedent on this issue. I mean, they just recently amended this statute. Very few cities rolled out this program because of the limitations of the use of funds. So the administration is trying to be creative into what we can use the funds for, but.
No, you were referring to the park at Kirkmere School? Is that
Yes,
the
I'm
one?
sorry.
Yeah, and that
Yes.
park, is that on city property now, or was it on school before there was a debate? Okay, because I had a complaint I needed to forward you about the things that fall from the trees that great the sidewalks are covered with these sticky things, so I don't know who's responsible for cleaning that up.
I was on which side it falls on.
Right.
Sorry.
One more question.
Go ahead.
Chuck, I should have asked you this earlier, but I didn't think about it till now. Is the way we choose our resurfacing in each one of our wards, is that the only way the city's always done it? And is that the way we still do it now? Is that the reason why we still do it that way now? And is that the most efficient way to do it, is to, for each council person to, I'm asking because, you know, my ward is frustrating. I gotta split up between the east side, downtown, north side, south side. So is this the best and most efficient way to actually do this? Is there any other, especially with the amount of dollars we get, we never get enough to actually complete anything. I've been doing Hillman Street since 2016. You know what I mean? So at what time, is there a different way we can get this done? Is it, you know, a better, more efficient way to spend these dollars?
Chuck.
Through the
Can we
chair.
add more dollars to the budget?
Through the chair, that's the obvious, that's the best way to do it, I guess. Our resurfacing budget has essentially been the same since I've, for the last 20 years. Obviously asphalt prices, when I first started working here, we were paying $76 a cubic yard for asphalt, and now we're probably approaching $160 a cubic yard for asphalt. So the budget generally has stayed the same, plus or minus, and we've increased it. We've stretched that budget as much as we can. We've tried to go for outside funding for the larger streets. We were quite successful on that. But in regards to those residential streets, they're not really eligible for outside funding. So we've always relied on the council members' input because they had their finger on the pulse of their ward. As we grow in technology, See-Click Fix has been a very interesting asset because a lot of people are just flooding us with complaints on streets, in which the streets that I gave you were indicative of some of those complaints. We are demoing a software system that incorporates a LiDAR type system where we could actually strap iPhones to the garbage trucks, and they will continually monitor the streets and update the condition of the streets, as well as inventory things like signs and catch basins and fire hydrants and so forth, or wherever we want, basically. It's a pretty interesting little concept. I just met with the gentleman the other day, and we're going to get a proposal from them. But that would basically give you a map that we could share with the council members and share with the public, that would basically color code the streets through a GIS network that says, okay, these are streets that are 70 to 80 rating, and these are the streets that are 50 to 60, and there you have whatever parameters you set. It would be a much better way to get a good eagle eye view of what's going on from the street condition in the city.
Okay, maybe we should not call it miscellaneous. We can narrow it down. Too broad of a topic. Looks like we completed the agenda. So Councilman Oliver, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second. We are adjourned at 5:15.